Hi, friends. Today's reflection is for Tuesday of the third week of Easter. Several years ago at a hospital in Massachusetts, hundreds of people gathered in a parking lot to see what appeared to be an image of the Virgin Mary in this large window of the hospital that overlooked the parking lot. Condensation collected between the glass panes, and it really looked like an image of the Virgin. Crowds of people gathered to see the image, to take pictures, and to take some time to pray quietly. My sister-in-law worked at that hospital at the time, so I heard this story, and it always stuck with me. I think people are always looking for signs of God in the world and in our lives. We're looking for signs that everything really is going to be okay. In today's gospel, the crowd asked Jesus for a sign. Today's gospel is from the Gospel of John, chapter 6. At the beginning of the chapter, we hear the story of the multiplication of the loaves and fishes, a clear sign from Jesus. There wasn't enough food, and Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes, and everyone had plenty, and there was some left over. Well, at the end of that story, Jesus leaves. Well, the people followed him, and when they find him, they ask him for a sign. He tells them that he is the bread of life. He is what they are searching for. He is what fills their needs. He is their hope. He fills their desires. He is the sign. In John's Gospel, at the Last Supper, we don't hear about Jesus breaking the bread. Instead, we hear that Jesus washed the feet of his apostles, and he told them that he was giving them an example, that as he washed their feet, they are to wash one another's feet. They're to show love and care for others. How did Jesus show love and care for others? Well, we know that he especially cared for the outcast of society. He cared very much for the poor and the sick. He was someone who served humbly. He forgave. He taught about forgiveness and forgiving even our enemies. He was someone who welcomed every single person as a child of God, and he was willing to sacrifice for the kingdom. Today, I think there are signs of Jesus around us all the time. I think we just need to be looking for them, almost on the lookout for them. Maybe it's that unexpected kindness you received, or that forgiveness you got when you really didn't deserve it. That bit of hope, or that feeling of peace that you weren't expecting that suddenly overcomes you. Maybe you see those who are speaking out against injustice, people who are working for peace, people who are working not only to serve the poor, but working to change the structures that created unequal systems in our world so that everyone has what they need. This is Jesus at work in the world, bread for all of us. In today's first reading, we hear about Stephen, who would become Saint Stephen, the first martyr. Stephen stood up for his faith. The crowd didn't like it. They stoned him. But as he was dying, he forgave them, just as Jesus forgave upon the cross. He was someone who lived his faith. He was a sign. Stephen was a sign. As Easter people, as people of the resurrection, we are all called to be signs of God's presence in the world. We are the ones who are called to do the work of building the kingdom and of helping others see and feel the presence, see the signs all around us. In our world today, I think it's really easy to see the other signs, the signs of injustice, signs of racism, signs of prejudice. There are a lot of signs of violence in our world right now, signs of disagreement, signs of fear. I think more than ever, we need to be signs of Jesus in the world, signs of hope, signs of peace, signs of love, signs of showing love to our neighbor. We need to be his hands, his feet, and his heart in our world. So today, let's take a minute to pause and notice the signs of Jesus all around us. Then let's pause and think about how we are signs of God's presence in the world. I think the crowds are still looking, and they're still asking for signs. May God help us and guide us to be his presence in our world. I hope your day is a really good one. And until I see you again, I wish you peace.